Hello, I am Colin Jones. Encouraging, words, video, series, Psalms 18, verse 30. As for God, his way is perfect. The word of the Lord is flawless. He is a shield for all who take refuge in him. When I read this passage, I get a strong impression that David, as many in that day and time, viewed God to be like a shield that one might have used in battle. I think the reason why this was the case was by the power that God had demonstrated in protecting those who had sought out his protection. This psalm was sung by David when he had defeated his enemies, including Saul. However, I would also like to point out that David also mourned for Saul and Jonathan, Saul's son, by having taken up a lament in honor of their memory. David did this because Jonathan had made a covenant with him by giving the very clothes Jonathan, had been wearing. Why would Jonathan, the king's son, give David, a poor shepherd boy, the clothes he had on? Well, the answer lies in the fact that Jonathan loved David as he would himself. Therefore, this kind of love led him to give David the very clothes off his back. Thus, I think Jonathan demonstrates the love that I think God wants us to have. Now, the question is, how is this rather unrelated story tied to Psalm 18? Well, here's where I find things interesting. You see, David was singing this psalm in celebration of what God had done. However, these wins came at such an ugly price. That price was Saul and Jonathan, who were valiant fighters and had gone as far as to give their very lives away. Therefore, I think that this psalm had to have some mixed emotions with it. I realize I did not speak on the first part of the passage at the beginning of this video. God's ways are perfect, as the passage starts with this acknowledgement. Now, the reason I went for the second part was for the interesting thought about God and his protection of all who actively seek him. I also thought that the first part was self-explanatory in the way it was written. Therefore, I did not need an explanation. Thanks for watching Encouraging Words video series. See you next time. Goodbye. This is Colin Jones saying so long for now.